Hello, everybody. For those of you who do not have WWE 24/7, I gotta say shame on you, because this past month, all of November, WWE 24/7 has come out with the essential Starrcade. This was basically a list voted upon by the fans of WWE. Apparently also wrestlers, historians, everybody, and because this year is was the 25th anniversary of Starrcade, and this week WWE 24/7, they've done a program every week. They have come out with 5 matches a week to announce the 25 greatest Starrcade matches of all time. Now I'm going to read this list to you, 25 to 1, for those of you who did not have the opportunity to see it. So I'm going to start off with obviously number 25. 25 was Hulk Hogan versus Roddy Piper, Starrcade 96. 24, Sting versus the Great Muta, Starrcade 89. 23, Ricky Steamboat and Shane Douglas against Barry Windham and Brian Pillman, Starrcade 92. 22, Goldberg versus Kevin Nash, Starrcade 98. This is where the streak ends. 21, Battle Bowl, Starrcade 91. 20, Dustin Rhodes versus Steve Austin, Starrcade 93. 19, the Road Warriors against Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson, Starrcade 87. 18, Rey Mysterio against Jushin Liger, Starrcade 96. 17, the Rock and Roll Express against the Midnight Express, Starrcade 87. 16, Ric Flair versus Lex Luger, Starrcade 88. 15, Eddie Guerrero versus Shinjiro Otani, Starrcade 95. 14, Dusty Rhodes and Sting against the Road Warriors, Starrcade 88. Number 13, Sting versus Vader, Starrcade 92. 12, Jack and Jerry Briscoe against Ricky Steamboat and Jay Youngblood, Starrcade 83. 11, Ric Flair versus Dusty Rhodes, Starrcade 85. 10, Dean Malenko versus Eddie Guerrero, Starrcade 97. 9, the Steiner Brothers against the Road Warriors, Starrcade 89. 8, 3 count, the Young Dragons and the team of Evan Courageous and Jamie Noble, Starrcade 2000. 7, Sting versus Ric Flair, Starrcade 89. 6, Roddy Piper versus Greg Valentine, Starrcade 83. 5, the Road Warriors versus the Midnight Express, Starrcade 86. 4, Hulk Hogan versus Sting, Starrcade 97. 3, Harley Race versus Ric Flair, Starrcade 83. 2, Tully Blanchard versus Magnum TA, Starrcade 85. And the number 1 match, this was voted by the WWE Universe, all the fans and everybody, Ric Flair versus Vader from Starrcade 93. Now, I'm going to be honest. I think of my generation, we can all say we have not seen every Starrcade. However, Ric Flair versus Vader, the number 1 match to ever happen in Starrcade, totally disagree. This list, match-wise, for the most part, is a very good list. I don't agree with number 1. Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard, to me, is the greatest Starrcade match that's ever happened. You watch the match, the animosity's there, the tension is there, that whole expression, you could cut the electricity with a knife. That's the honest-to-God truth. This match had it all. And yes, it should be in the top 5, but it should not be number 2. To me, that's the number 1 match of all time. And another match that I'm shocked, even though I've never seen this match, but I've heard stories about it. Ricky Steamboat and Tully Blanchard from Starrcade 84. Shunned. Not even on the list. Not even on that list. Hulk Hogan and Sting, I don't think that's a top 5 match. Top 10 maybe, only because of the hype going into that match. And Jim Ross said it perfectly when they did reveal the top 5 greatest Starrcade matches of all time. This was the most hyped match in the history of Starrcade. Easily one of the top 5 or 10 most hyped matches in the history of this sport. For it to be number 4 against with matches like Roddy Piper and Greg Valentine, Sting and Ric Flair, and Dean Malenko and Eddie Guerrero, which is on the same show, Guerrero and Malenko. I gotta disagree with that. I don't think Hogan and Sting was that good of a match. It should not be number 4. I think if I had to put it in the top 10, I'd probably have it at number 9. I think I'd move that to number 9. Race and Flair, very good match, has to be in the top 5. You know, that match is the reason Starrcade happened. Road Warriors, Midnight Express, what else can you say? That's got to be a top 5. If I had to redo the top 5, and this is only me, and I had to take this list of 25, the top 5 Starrcade matches would be as this. Blanchard and Magnum would be number 1. Race and Flair would be number 2. The Road Warriors and the Midnight Express would be number 3. Piper and Valentine would be number 4. And number 5, if I had to pick number 5, you know what? I'd move Sting and Great Muta up to number 5, because that was a hell of a match. And they only had 15 minutes to work with. That's a hell of a match right there. And another match that I'm disappointed in that isn't on this list. Billy Kidman, Rey Mysterio, Juventud Guerrera from Starrcade 98. A phenomenal opening match. And you know, people talk about Bret Hart and Owen Hart is the greatest opening match in the history of WrestleMania. And a topic that really doesn't get discussed because, well, it's the opening match. Opening matches get shunned. But that 3-way at Starrcade 98 is one of the greatest opening matches to a pay-per-view, to a show of all time. Because Kidman pulled double duty. He wins the triple threat match, then Eddie challenges him for the title after the match, wrestles again, and wins. So the first half hour, 40 minutes, is of the cruiserweights. And how that match is not on there is terrible. It's terrible. But basically, that is the list of the 25 greatest Starrcade matches of all time. And, you know, there's Starrcade DVDs coming out. I'm going to definitely buy it when it does come out in the beginning of 2009. But all I'm going to say is, I don't agree with the number 1 match. I think Tully Blanchard and Magnum TA is the greatest match Starrcade ever had. And I don't think that match can ever be topped as far as Starrcade is concerned.